Welcome back. What we'll take a look at now is the fact sheet for Module 1, the communication process. As a note for the future, all of the module fact sheets, that which we will review prior to actually beginning the module, and which will always be posted at 12:01 a.m. on the Monday at the beginning of that particular module time frame. They're all going to look basically the same as far as the format is concerned. So you need not worry about a different format every time. I will always start with a short introduction as I am doing at the moment. I will then proceed on to a slide that will provide you with the appropriate readings and viewings for that particular module. And then there'll be a slide or two on the assignments that will be required for completion of the particular module. Module 1, for example, is relatively short in nature, in content, in activities, so will be atypical of what you may expect. The farther we get into the course itself, the more the reading requirements, viewing requirements will be, as well as any of the assignment activities. So let's go ahead and proceed. Okay, now what are we going to talk about here in Module 1? Well, first of all, Module 1 is going to discuss the concept of communication. We all communicate continuously throughout our waking hours. Sometimes we communicate when we're sleeping, but generally speaking, we have recognized communication during our waking hours. We do it. Most of it is very simple. Most of it is not complex. However, we do have opportunities where we need to have far more complex and in-depth communication. So we will spend more time on this concept of communication. We're going to discuss this thing called the communication process. Every communication for success must have a sender and a receiver. We'll talk, and they are the beginning and the ending, if you wish, of this thing called the process. You will read more about this, and in my videoed lecture, which will appear on Wednesday, you will see greater detail of that. Communication is not perfect. Communication actually is rarely perfect. There are many different types, different opportunities for barriers that can interfere and break down communication. Again, we will talk about those, discuss which we can alleviate and which we really can't do much about, but which we must be aware of. And then finally, obviously, we need to look at the communication, its importance in business. Communication, as I mentioned previously in other discussions, in business is typically very complex. It is critical, and it needs to be concise and to the point. So we will spend more time with regards to its importance to business. Let's move on. Okay, let's go ahead and move a little bit farther here now. Concerning the Module 1 readings and viewings, as you can see, there are going to be 5 articles. The availability date shown on the screen, and ideally you should have this completed by the date you also see on the screen. Now these 5 articles are short, so you don't have to worry about extensive readings. In this particular case, all these articles again are located in the readings and viewings section of Module 1 in Blackboard. Finally, on Wednesday, on the date shown there, you will see that there is a video summary lecture, and basically it's just a summarization of everything that you would have read or viewed up to that point. And what you will do is actually watch this video prior to completing the wrap-up quiz for Module 1, which will be later on in the week. Okay, let's go ahead and move on now. Okay, last but not least are the assignment activities for Module 1. Well, the first one you'll see there are the pre-discussion questions. Now, ideally what you will have done is looked at any previously posted readings and viewings, again, in the readings and viewings sections of Module 1.
You'll note that the questions do begin basically at the same time as the readings and viewings begin. You have the same duration of time to complete both the readings and viewings and the pre-discussion questions. So go ahead and start those, and I would suggest that you do those as soon as possible. That way, if there are issues, we can take care of those technical issues particularly. Next, you will see the assignment for this is this module is a narrated personal information sheet. Basically, what you're going to do is you're going to create a video using PowerPoint, which will describe a subject that you know far better than anybody else, and that's yourself. And the primary purpose of this is to introduce yourself to the other classmates. It's quite possible that in other classes you have, been on discussion boards, possibly even talked to others, but we're going to let you provide a little more information that you probably would not necessarily share unless you were asked. So there will be a fact sheet available for this. There will be an example of one that I created on myself, which you can take a look at, and you can see the assigned date and the due dates are also posted there. Finally, as I mentioned in the previous slide, there will be a Module 1 summary video, and that should be viewed prior to completing, as you can see here, the Module 1 quiz. Again, the assigned dates and due dates are posted. That pretty much wraps it up for this Module 1 fact sheet. As usual, if you have any questions, give either myself or Professor Lum a call, well, not a call, but an email message. Thanks, take care, enjoy the day.